Welcome to the Back to Basics podcast, a space where we share refreshing and honest conversations on all things pregnancy, birth, and parenting. I'm your host, Nicole, and I'm a mom, holistic childbirth educator and coach, and founder of Ruby Mamas. Today we have Kitt Kiarie. Kitt's a mom, sleep coach, content creator, and YouTuber. She shares about her journey into motherhood, and we talk about how we can support women as they become mothers. We also talk about the role support plays in her enjoying motherhood, fears, and how she moves through them. Hi, Kitt. How are you today?
Oh, good. Thank you. How are you doing, Nicole?
I'm doing great. It's been a nice morning, nice and warm. I have a view of the hills from my window.
It was raining.
I know. I saw it raining, and I remember your Instagram posts. Okay, we can start by introducing yourself, what you do, your family.
So I'm Kitt. I am 35 years old. I'm a mama of two. I have a 6-year-old little girl and a 3-year-old little boy. I'm married to Martin for a little over 10 years. This is our 10th year. We're just about to start. And I'm a sleep coach. I create content on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm just a feminist. I'm an African feminist. That's how I describe myself.
That's lovely. Could you describe for me what your feminism looks like? Because I feel like it's different for so many people.
Yeah, it shouldn't be different. Feminism is just the idea that women should have the same opportunities and access to the same privileges as men. Women and girls. So it's just equality in access of opportunities, privileges, jobs, name it.
Yeah, I feel like people misconstrue it and feel like when you're giving one access, it means you're denying the other gender access.
I mean, that has been going on for millennia, where men have access and deny women the access. So I think that's why it seems like it should flip, because that's what's currently going on. But obviously, that's not what feminism is about. We just want the same access.
Just let people be.
Sure.
Okay, I think we can start by, maybe you could tell us 3 words that describe motherhood to you, or the way you mother.
It's relentless. Literally, it's never ending. There's no moment where I am not a mom. Even when I'm not with my children, I'm still momming. So relentless is definitely one of those words. It is overwhelming because, and I think a lot of people think overwhelm is something negative, but it's just like it takes you over. There's no way that you can be a mother passively.
For sure. And
the third one, what would I say? It has its moments.
Good.
I would do it again. I would do it again. I don't want to sit here and say, oh, it's so rewarding, or it's I mean
that is just not true.
It's just not true. I'm still waiting for my rewards of motherhood. I love my children dearly, and they are a lot of work, and they take a lot out of me, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, like when my daughter was first born, she took a shit on me, I think 6 times. And I was like, if this was anybody else, oh my God.
You would have drop kicked that little thing out the window.
As in, like, it's over.
There you rude.
And I was like, oh, this is really nice. She's pooping. And then I'm like, Nicole, last year, this would have been a very big problem.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I think now we can go, maybe you can tell us your journey into momhood. I think you can do how it was with the first, and then going from 1 to 2, and then how it is currently.
So when I had my first one is Kendi. Because I'm a sleep coach, I've never bought into the idea that motherhood is hard. or parenting for that matter, people will say things like, get ready to have sleepless nights. And I would just tell them, no.
It's like you cannot sleep.
I'm not glamorizing
the struggle.
The struggle. No, there's nothing glamorous about the struggle. There is nothing, I'm better than you because I struggled more bringing up my children. I mean, what? No, life is not like that. So I sleep trained her when she came out of the chute. We've always just had good sleep. All these habits that the parents pick up, sleeping with the baby, rocking, feeding on demand, I just never started off. So Kendi doesn't know that such a life exists. Kendi is my first one. And then when we got pregnant with Keo, it's my second one, Kendi was 3, or just about to turn 3 by the time Keo was born. And she had an easy time getting ready to have her brother in her life. And when we brought him home, we got a gift for her and we said, this is from your brother. He wants you to know he's so happy to meet you. And, and that really eased her into the idea of sharing mama. And my midwife, my doula, told me something that I'll never forget. And I keep telling mommies this. If you have a second one close to the first one, like if it's 2 years, 3 years, that's still a baby, and you're having another baby, ignore the little one completely.
Yeah.
until they need you, until the time that they need you, when you're breastfeeding or you're, putting them to sleep. Other than that, literally just let anybody else take care of them and give all your attention to the older one. Because the younger one will not remember that mommy wasn't there. They really don't need your attention as much as you think they do. If they are sleeping, there's no need to be holding them or, telling the older one, shush, or, you need to really, really pay a lot of attention to the older one just so that they don't feel like, okay, what happened? Can this child now go back where they come? Like the visit is over. Like why are they're overstaying their welcome?
Yeah, who's the stranger?
Yeah. So raising 2 is not much difficult than raising 1. Although now at their age, I'm more of a referee. And I just find it exhausting how many times a day I have to say, please stop fighting your sister, stop punching your brother, which it's a mess. I'm a ref.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever told them to stop doing?
Stop licking. What was it? Oh my God. It was so weird. And I took a moment to be like, is this now my life? Like now is I'm going to be saying these weird things going forward. I said, what was it? Oh, right. Stop licking the cat.
I was telling my daughter the other day, we don't eat the dog.
Please. The dog is not food. Please leave the dog alone.
Like, I don't know why I thought, like, before I had a baby, that kids were risk averse. Like, she wouldn't want to jump off the bed or touch that cable.
She wants to see. She doesn't know about gravity. She wants to see how it will work.
Like the sharpest, most dangerous thing is what she wants.
Literally.
Okay, let's talk enjoying motherhood, because it can be intense. So yeah, tell us what enjoying motherhood looks like for you.
Enjoying motherhood for me is about fitting the child into my life. I've been around 35 years. Like a child is not going to come and change how I do stuff just because now I have a child. For me, I see myself as a bus going to Mombasa, and the child is a passenger. So if you want to go to Kisumu, that is well and good. But me, I'm going to Mombasa. So are you on off? And we're going to Mombasa, and this is the schedule. So when I had my children, I travel a lot. And because now I had small children, I went with them. Literally, as soon as I have is it called the birth notification, right? They give you the birth notification in hospital. And then you're supposed to wait, is it 2 weeks before you apply for the birth certificate? And then another 2 or 3 weeks before you get the birth certificate. And you can only apply for a passport once you have the birth certificate, right? On the day that I get the birth certificate, I literally have all the documents. I go to pick up the birth certificate with all the documents to apply for the passport.
You're like, oh man, that's how we need to go.
No, like, because I know how much I travel, and I'm like, I will not leave my 1 month old because they need me. Like, I am their food, right? I exclusively breastfed both my children for 6 months. So it's like, I will go with them. So I need to make sure that I can as soon as possible before I need to. And with KO at 4 months old, I was in South Africa. I'm like, let's go, boy. Like, I need to do ABCD. You're coming with, you know.
Yes. They were going on an adventure.
The baby doesn't care. They don't care where they are. They don't even remember. It's me who I'm like, I need to have my child with me. And that works out. And going to the UK, I mean, different places that we go to, we just go with the children because that's our life. And I'm a light mama. Like, don't carry a basin, a bassinet.
All the diapers.
All the diapers. Honestly, there is babies there where you're going. You will get those things there. So tell the hotel, I have a baby. Please put up a baby bed. Do you have babysitting services? If you ask the hotel for anything, they'll probably have it. Some other client already asked them for it. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. I wanted to ask, how do your family and your sisters play a role in helping you enjoy? And by sisters, it doesn't have to be blood sisters, just women in your life.
So a friend of mine told me the other day that she was so surprised by me. When we first met, I wasn't pregnant, and I got pregnant with her in my life. And she just thought, okay, that's the end of our friendship because new mommies don't go out. And when they do go out, they leave their babies at home and then hurry back home. They're never fully there in the lunch, in the brunch. They're never fully there. They're always on the phone, calling home, and then they leave shortly after they arrive. First of all, they arrive late because of baby, in big quotes. And then they leave early because of baby, again, big quotes. And she thought that that was going to be our experience. What actually transpired was I would just hang out with her, with Kendi, in our midst. So what are we doing? Lunch.
The baby.
Know that I have the baby with me, right? And she'd be like, yeah, bring her. And because Kendi was sleep trained, she was chill. She would just be like a handbag. And when she would wake up, she'd be just like, I'd feed her and we chill again. So she wasn't disturbing or disrupting the space. And we would just hang out, me, her, and baby. And that continued and has continued. And she's one of my best friends to date. So my sisters and my friends and the women in my life know how I am. And they know that I'm easygoing, I'm light, I'm going to be there for you. You'll be there for me, regardless of baby. I think people change their lives. So like babies make women's life particularly chaotic, where they can't even attend church, let alone even a lunch. They can't, they're just like so disorganized. I don't get, I personally, because that's not my personality, I don't understand the disorganization and discombobulation and confusion that comes with babies. I mean, it's a kid. So what? Gosh, like it's like it's so much. And that's why people can't enjoy babies, and they're just like, that was so horrible. But me, I enjoy it because I'm organized as a person. The women in my life help me to be organized. They take over mothering for periods of time. They take my kids. They come home. I leave. So there's a lot of support there.
Okay. Do you think you learned to take it easy? Is it just your personality, or is it something that was modeled for you?
I think it's my personality. It's my personality for sure. But I never saw my mom being heavy. My sister, my youngest sister, is 10 years younger than me. When she was born, my mom was working as a social development consultant in Dadaab, in Garissa. And she went to work with Mitch, my sister, when Mitch was 4 months old, and just kept going with her, coming back, going with her, coming back. Every time she went with the baby. And, people would ask her, oh, my goodness, such a young baby. And she's like, there's babies being born in Dadaab, right? So
I'm not special.
Relax. It's not a special baby. It's just a baby. And she'd have a little cot that she would put next to her and put the baby, like it's under the table, because it's on the floor, so you can't see the baby. And unless the baby makes a sound, she would have entire meetings and people would not know she was there.
I love it. I feel like people would be much happier if they just integrated their children. They feel like once you have a baby, I have to stop working. I have to.
And there's some companies that understand that, and they do a really good job at that.
Honestly, people would value motherhood if there was a salary. I personally think moms should be paid a salary.
Correct.
On that note, would you say it's the expectations and feeling like, once you become a new mom, you have to become this whole new person, take on these whole new things, forget that you are Kitt or Nicole, instead of being, I'm Kitt and I'm a mom, or I'm Nicole and I'm a mom. So would you say it's like these expectations and this like pressure to feel like you have to become this whole new person that make it so hard to enjoy being a mom?
Yes, I think that's what it is. And then the people who have gone before you telling you all these things and only their bad experiences of motherhood. And so you go in, and of giving birth. So you go in knowing this is going to be a rough ride. So like, what's the motivation? Why should anybody have children? When people ask me, should I have children? I have to be truthful and I say it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. And don't do it just because you're feeling pressure.
I got pregnant and I was like, so you mean someone can just decide one day they're going to go have sex and have a baby? And then it's just like that. Yeah. There's no vetting process. There's no mental checkup. Nothing. I was like,
anybody can have a baby.
Madness. Okay. So I think for you to enjoy motherhood, it's hard a lot of the time. It can be very intense. Your kid is sick, it's going through a growth spurt. You have to pay school fees, whatever. Yeah. How do you find joy, like just through the shit, all the stuff that comes with being a mom?
Wow. Carve out time to have fun with your child. So then you are not only working as a mom, but you're also playing as a mom. Then also have time away from your child so that you can still remain Kitt. I'm Kitt, regardless of being Mama Kendi, Mama Keo, I'm Kitt. And I don't even appreciate being called Mama Kendi or Mama Keo or Mrs. Kiarie. I'm like, I am me as me rather than someone's wife or someone's mother. So just having those little things that you do every day even if it's a cup of tea, 15 minutes of tea by yourself outside in the garden so that you can't hear your kid, that's really, really useful. And finding ways to play with your child and have fun with your child, going to places and whatever, that's another way you can enjoy motherhood.
I agree. With social media, it feels like self-care has to be this whole big thing. You have to go for a spa. You have to, it can be just taking a poop in the morning. It can be
literally
an amazing 20 minutes.
Without someone in the bathroom with you.
You just chill there for like an extra 10 minutes. Give yourself a pep talk.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask you, surrender versus control. Like in terms of your motherhood, which one would you say you lean more towards? Or are you in the middle?
Control.
You need that structure.
Me, I need structure. I need structure so that my mind can be calm. I need my space to be clear so that my mind can be calm. I need control. I can't just be, no, I don't surrender. I don't surrender.
Do you feel like your kids just fell into your way of parenting or being? Or you had to, mold them?
Of course, I molded them. I taught them. They are like that because I am like this.
Thanks.
There's no way that they came out. No, they did. They came out with their personalities because Kelly is very feisty and Keo is very calm, like a calm spirit. But the way they are, the way they behave, that's me. That's my result. And of course, my husband's. But they did not come out like that, no.
And the work doesn't stop, huh?
No, the work does not stop.
I didn't understand how, I don't want to say incessant, but just always there motherhood is. You're always thinking,
relentless.
If you've left the baby, you're thinking about how she's pooped, if she's pooped today, what she's going to do in a year. It's like, how do you have space in your brain for anything else?
I know. When I'm at home, I only think about home stuff. I mean, right now I'm working a lot at home, but when I was out and working away from the home, when I'm at home, I think about home. When I'm at work, I think about work, and I don't mix.
It's just something you tell yourself.
I just have to tell myself it is now this is the way it is. I don't call home. I'm not those mothers who at lunch calls home. I will not call home.
Like, unless they're dying.
I have an agreement. Yeah. I have an agreement. If the child is dying, if the house is on fire, call me. Other than that, if you can deal with it, deal with it. Don't tell me the child has been crying for an hour. Are they dying? If they are not, don't call me.
Take him for a walk or something.
Deal with it. You've raised children. Deal with it.
Even me, I'm learning. Even me, I learned. Okay, let's talk moving through fear, because fear is just, it's always there. Not that it's a bad thing, but a lot of people don't know how to deal with it or how to move past it. So does fear dictate how you mother and the choices you make for your children and your family?
Wow. Okay, so I am a very anxious person and I'm afraid a lot. And I have moments of complete breakdown where I'm just like, my child is going to die. My child is dying. And with that, I'm also very spiritual. So I pray for my children and I pray for their caregiver and their caregivers, whoever I leave them with. And I know it's not me who keeps my children alive. Like, there is nothing I can do, Nicole, to keep my kid alive. I can do my best. I can give them food, shelter, clothing, love, all of these things. But they may just fall down and die today. And there's nothing that I can do to prevent that.
Yeah.
So just realizing that makes me know that honestly, I'm doing my best. And to keep them safe, I put all these things in place. After that, it's now God. And me and God, we have an agreement, right? And I'm doing my part, and I have complete trust that he is also doing his part. I'm just keep your promises, do what you said you would do, and let's leave it at that. I'm not doing your job. I'm also, I'll do my job, you do yours. So that fear of what will happen, will my kids be good, blah, 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 you need to let that go. And you just need to be like, you do your best and then you leave it, because you can't go through life wondering, afraid, what if this, that, and the other. Let it go. So that's how I live my life. I just let it go. I do my best and then I leave it.
And your husband and his fears, do you have to like support each other, or do you deal with your fears on your own?
We support each other. His fears are mainly he won't be able to provide for his children, for his family. So, we support each other there. And he supports me by telling me, I know you're worried about such and such, but they're fine. And first of all, even if I worry like that, I'm still not calling home, because I'm still trusting. No, you said you were going to take care of them. I trust that, and I'm not going to call, So it's just that mutual understanding that we both have fears, and this is how we help each other.
I think that takes a lot of strength.
Yeah.
So you'd say you move through fear through praying, or just letting go and let God, basically. How do you filter out your fears and external fears? Because I know there's people with all their opinions about what you should do, what will happen, all that stuff.
Oh, all right. I mean,
not amused.
Like opinions are like facts. Everybody has one. Like I don't have to. I don't take people's opinions too at heart. I mean, I'll hear you out, and then I'll be like, not for me, or yeah, that's for me. Let me do something. But I don't find I am influenced a lot by people. The people I care about and respect, they would have some part to play in my life, but they are also kind of like me. So we don't have a lot of fear mongers in my life.
Okay. How do you think that we as a society can support mothers in raising little humans? At the end of the day, we live in a society that doesn't foster you being able to be there for your kid, being able to spend time with yourself, just freedom to be the kind of mother you want to be.
I think we could, first of all, at the legislation level, give mothers 6 months maternity leave, allow mothers to come to work with their children and have provision for childcare, cease and desist from not hiring pregnant women. I mean, you want women to be pregnant, but you don't want them to be able to feed their kids.
Oh my God.
That makes me confused and angry. That just fills me with a rage I cannot explain. Stop firing women for getting pregnant. Give dads and fathers months of maternity leave. I don't understand this 2-week business. It
doesn't make sense. It's so useless. It's like the person who made that law does not have kids.
No, they have kids, and that's why they don't want to be home.
Oh my gosh. I feel like being a parent is like a punishment in this society.
Yeah, for dads. Yeah.
I was talking to my friend about how being a dad is so optional in like our society. This guy can, he'll get this person pregnant, and then he can decide if he wants to be there, if he doesn't. Or he wants to have this relationship with your kid, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's, people just
crazy.
Is there anything you'd like to comment on about motherhood? Or
yes, I would like to encourage mothers to not take on the role of parenting alone. Many of us don't give opportunity and space for the partners in our life to contribute. They are not helping you. They are raising their own child. And just because the child is screaming because dad is taking too long to change the diaper, I mean, dad does not have practice. Dad needs to learn just the same way you learned. Like before Kendi, I didn't have a child. It was my first child. It was Martin's first child. Both of us, but somehow I'm supposed to innately know how to change a diaper. Nah, fam, I was also learning. But because I had practice, I was faster. And my daughter would just yell blue murder when my husband was changing her because it would take too long. A lot of mothers at that point step in and just do it. My friend, you are really
you're setting yourself
up for failure. Don't do that. Your child is not going to die because they are crying.
Crying is normal, people.
Cry. It is normal. They will know when daddy is changing me. Be patient. It's going to take long. And what that's going to do is give daddy more practice, 1. 2, the encouragement that he can do it as well because he's learning. And then you get the support that you badly need. But then now, as we are, I'll just do it. Oh, stop it. Sit up.
He's not changing it right. It's too tight.
So
I love
he's
it.
going to learn. You'll be like, you need to loosen it. Next time, loosen it. Give him the baby again. Come on. If you need the support, take it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you as well, since, you do what you need to do and you're not letting anyone else let you deviate from what works for you, how do you check yourself? Just stay responsible for yourself and your actions and not let anyone else's nonsense get in your space.
I don't get into arguing with people's opinion on how I should raise my kids. So if you tell me, Kitt, you should do A, B, C, D, I'll be like, oh, okay, and leave it at that. I don't live with you, so it doesn't matter.
What about within yourself? Sometimes you want to just make an excuse for why this and this is not working or it's not going the way you want it. How do you keep yourself in check?
If something is not working for you, I'm good at changing my opinion with new information. So if something is not working for me and I'm like, this thing is not working for me, how can I change this? And I ask around and I hear different opinions or I read something, I'll change my mind. So something has to be working for me to maintain it. If it stops working for me, I stop doing it. I'm not married to my opinions and my way of doing things. I'm only married to the result. So my result is an orderly, calm, peaceful, loving environment and family and children. And if that's not the result I'm getting because of something I'm doing, I'll change my strategy, but the result is still the same.
Okay, cool. When you were younger, what was motherhood like to you before you came to be a mother? What did it look like? What was your expectation?
I guess I only had my mom, and she's just so sweet and loving and available. So that's what I thought motherhood was, and it is. That's what motherhood is.
You make it what you want it to be, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so glad you came on the podcast.
I can't wait to hear it. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. This was a very interesting conversation. Definitely exceeded my expectations.
Oh, nice. That's so good. I'm glad to hear that.
And if anyone wants to connect with you, learn from you, follow you, where can they find you?
Right. They can find me on Instagram, Kitt and Kiarie. That's KITTN for Nairobi, KIARIE. And they can find me on YouTube, Kitt Kiarie. Yeah.
Subscribe, guys. I will
subscribe.
It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And thank you as well.
Have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it for this week. If you'd like to share your story, you can email us at rubymamas14@gmail.com. To join the community, follow the podcast and leave a review or comment. Thanks for tuning in.